Hello, new instructor, and welcome to your role as a part-time on-call team member. I'm excited that you're embarking on this path of learning, growing, and community outreach. Although your main responsibility will be to teach, you will learn from these onboarding video segments that you also play a big role in administrative and logistical processes. Make sure to keep an open mind, pace yourself, and ask your administrative team plenty of questions whenever you get confused. During this welcome session, I'm going to be going over PTOC roles and responsibilities, as well as general compensation considerations. I'll touch upon your Human Resources Department, the structure of the Red Cross organization, specifics on PHSS departments and our products, and the department reporting structure, workflows, and expectations. Congratulations again on being selected among a very talented candidate pool. We chose you because we felt you were responsible enough to represent the Red Cross as a whole by being the face of the organization. We also felt that you had the skills to learn and adapt quickly and effectively, as there will be many processes that you will be exposed to that are modified for efficiency on a regular basis. The Red Cross has an international presence, and as a private organization, we depend on public funds to deploy our vast community relief efforts. As a volunteer organization, most of our relief efforts are managed and executed by talented volunteers. Also, our pool of CPR and first aid instructors include talented individuals that have chosen to commit to teaching voluntarily. We are guided by our 7 fundamental principles, which include humanity and neutrality, which drive our decision-making and approaches and make us one of the most inclusive organizations in the world. Our mission is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. Paid staff and volunteers are treated equally throughout the organization and have critical roles in ensuring that our clients receive the best service. PTOC stands for part-time on-call because week to week, PTOCs have a variable schedule based on the individual instructor's availability and the number of course offerings that are available in our calendar. As Red Cross employees, you must comply with the employee rules and regulations of the organization, as well as IRS laws for compensation. PTOCs will also sign an instructor agreement and code of conduct during their instructor training, which outlines the general rules and expectations of being an instructor and the do's and don'ts of instructorship. PTOCs should keep their availability up to date to help maximize your course assignments. To remain in good standing, PTOCs need to report their availability monthly and when to work, which is our scheduling system, by the deadline that is set by your training scheduler. You must keep a minimum of 10 hours available weekly. And if there are major life changes that affect your availability, you should inform your supervisor as soon as possible to verify if you still will be able to meet your minimum PTOC requirements. Examples are frequent or long-term travel out of town, new job, or sick leave. Make sure to adhere to your e-time deadline, which is your time card, as timely submission of hours is monitored closely. Since our goal is to provide consistent standard training to all participants, PTOCs must follow their instructor manuals exactly and will be observed during scheduled and unscheduled weekly assignments. All training records must be submitted accurately and completely and by the deadline. You must participate in all mandatory meetings, which may consist of in-person and web-based platforms. And of course, all instructors must be dressed appropriately, following the dress code, which is, at minimum, non-denim pants, a polo, and closed-toe shoes. Compensation has 2 main parts, setup and teaching hours. We're reporting this on your time card. Add all these hours up and report as hours worked. PTOCs are not compensated for travel time. However, there are exceptions when you're being sent on a work assignment outside of your region or territory. Reimbursements are available for personal vehicle mileage and other approved travel expenses, like rental vehicles or hotel stays. If a work assignment requires overnight travel, meals are also eligible for reimbursement. Reimbursements are reported through our travel and reimbursement system called Concur. Now for our first knowledge check. What does PTOC stand for? A, practicing trainer or coach. B, part-time on call. C, partners through obstacle courses. Or D, part-time or closed. The correct answer is B, part-time on call. The next knowledge check. PTOCs are reimbursed for A, travel time, B, personal vehicle mileage to and from a work assignment, C, personal vehicle mileage to chat with friends at the office, or D, all of the above. The answer is B, personal vehicle mileage to and from a work assignment. The next knowledge check. What is the dress code while instructing? A, sandals and open-toed shoes are allowed. B, you must wear a tie. C, polo and khakis. Or D, any kind of shirt, so long as it does not have offensive words or graphics. The correct answer is C, polo and khakis. Our HR department is managed at a national level, meaning that we don't really have local HR reps at each branch office. Because of this, HR communications and trainings are conducted remotely. HR will send you an invitation to the new hire, new employee orientation by email and will be conducted over the phone. You'll be able to download the presentation to your computer. The orientation will focus on your time card system, HR Direct, and other onboarding forms and documents like your I-9. These forms can be found at www.redcross.org/PTOC. The Red Cross focuses on humanitarian lines of service that include disaster relief, services to the armed forces, international services, biomedical, community services, and preparedness health and safety services. Each line of service has specific goals and are staffed by both paid and volunteered members. You have been hired to work as a paid employee for PHSS, Preparedness Health and Safety Services. Each line of service falls into a different reporting line, either national or chapter regional. Disaster services is a line of service that takes advantage of a chapter or regional reporting structure, since each community's disaster relief needs are highly unique to geography and demographics. Biomedical services and preparedness health and safety services have a national reporting line, since it's expected that these services are delivered as close to the same standard way everywhere, despite the location. Because you are a PHSS staff member, you are considered a national employee, and your performance is measured to a national standard. As mentioned before, PHSS stands for Preparedness Health and Safety Services. Its goal is to provide training so that individuals can prevent and are prepared to respond to medical emergencies. A unique feature of PHSS is that our services are fee associated. This is because donations to the Red Cross are largely used to assist those in crisis during the aftermath of a disaster. Donations to help train people in CPR are rare, since these customers are typically not in a crisis. The PHSS department then keeps itself up and running through the customer purchase of products and services. Not only do these purchases maintain our department, but they help in funding other lines of service in the American Red Cross. The next knowledge check question. The PHSS department is managed under what level? A, chapter level, B, regional level, C, national level, or D, international level? The correct answer is C, national level. So PHSS product line has a broad scope, from training to equipment to preparedness solution services. Our training list is long, including CPR for lay responders and professional rescuers to pet first aid to aquatics and youth-focused programs. We also have physical products for sale, including mannequins, emergency preparedness equipment, and reference materials. We have corporate preparedness products that include rating systems and drills to measure how effectively a company can respond to an emergency. As an internal Red Cross instructor, your direct supervisor is your training specialist. The training specialist handles the hiring and instructor issues related to compensation, remediation, and terminations. PTOCs work closely with their training scheduler to ensure proper connection to work assignments. The training specialist supervisor is the service delivery manager. Our national headquarters is in Washington, D.C. This is where you will find our current national president and CEO of the organization, Gail McGovern, and our national PHSS department president, Jack McMasters. And we geographically have multi-state delineations called divisions or sectors. These delineations are further divided into territories. Some territories are an aggregate of counties, and some territories are entire states or a couple of states. Division, sector, and territory designations are mainly based on population size. Examples of territories include Georgia Territory or North Central Florida Territory. The department is divided as a whole under two main focal operations, service delivery and sales. The service delivery side focuses on the quality and the resources needed for effective training to occur, as well as placing publicly open courses on the Red Cross course catalog, while the sales side focuses on customizing group trainings and services to corporations and large organizations. The members of the sales team that work closely with corporate customers are known as account managers. Your training specialist is considered the program's subject matter expert and will generally remediate instructor issues and keep track of performance measures. It is important to keep up with updates from your training specialist, as this will impact your quality and consistency in course delivery. Since most training specialists supervise 50 or more instructors on average, be mindful in promptly responding to inquiries and requests by email, as it would be unmanageable to call each instructor individually to provide guidance on new directives. Training specialists consult with each other regularly to find better ways for you as instructors to deliver training more smoothly. Your service delivery manager plays a slightly different role from your training specialist. The manager's focus is to look at overall operations and functions, balance budgets, and develop relationships with other department managers and leaders. The manager supervises the training specialist, scheduler, and administrative and logistic coordinators. Another main responsibility of the manager is the handling of customer complaints and issues. Red Cross works with the public to deliver training to community individuals, private groups that want one-off training, and also with whole companies that want to become external providers. While the service delivery team will create the public offering in the Red Cross public course catalog, our account managers and the sales teams are working to create corporate partnerships for group and company trainings, and both at the local and national level. The service delivery team will then mobilize human and material resources to fulfill all training needs. The next, knowledge check. Who is the direct supervisor for all PHSS internal instructors, paid and volunteer? The training scheduler, B, the training specialist, C, the service delivery manager, or D, the president of the Red Cross? The answer is B, the training specialist. Who is in charge of resolving customer complaints? A, the training scheduler, B, the training specialist, C, the service delivery manager, or D, the president of the Red Cross? The answer is C, the service delivery manager. Now that you've gone through a general overview of the role of a PTOC and the organization and department structure, I want to give you an idea of what to expect during your onboarding. I've put together a general checklist here that starts with your job-specific trainings that your training specialist will put together for you. Your HR orientation, which you will receive an email invitation, submitting all your new hire forms, setting up your LAN or local area network account, which will look like your first name dot last name at redcross.org. This account is used to enter in your time card, travel, and reimbursement system, as well as your employee email account. Once you take all your training, your supervisor will verify that you are certified in the learning management system. This will prompt your equipment assignments as determined by your training specialist. This will make you eligible to be assigned for courses in the When-to-Work scheduling system. If your local territory uses a SharePoint document sharing site, you will be requesting access so you can download important paperwork. Make sure that you have arranged to have keys or codes to access facilities or shared material rooms. Also, make sure that you have a name tag or ID badge ordered. And finally, make sure that you start teaching This process can take some time to fully complete, and depending on the available training, equipment, and resources, the timetable could vary. So please be patient and don't hesitate to ask questions. Also, be responsive, as we will need to schedule trainings, meetings, and make follow-up inquiries to track your progress. If you're going to a facility, make sure that you find out what the visitation rules are, for example, signing into a visitor's form. And always be friendly, as you never know if you're interacting with a valuable volunteer or a potential donor. And be flexible, as schedules and directives may change suddenly. Again, welcome. You are integrating into the greatest humanitarian organization in the world and teaching the best CPR and first aid program available in the market. You are now part of one of the most talented training groups. You are now part of One Red